Well, good morning, Get Wrecked for Recovery crew. So it's day number 18 of the Redeeming Eden Cycle Tour. RECT, Get Wrecked for Recovery. A 48-state, 4-year ride for addiction recovery awareness. Each day I pedal for somebody who's passed away from addiction, and the whole end goal is to build a rehab. And this is state number 34, Michigan, on the Ride to RAGBRAI 2022. A 4,500-mile loop around the Midwest, Ohio to Erie Trail, Upper Peninsula, Glacier National, Yellowstone, and back to RAGBRAI the last week of July. And it's all to raise awareness that addiction recovery options are available, that you don't have to die in your addiction. There's churches, Celebrate Recoveries, and rescue missions all over the nation, all over the world, that just want to help you, talk to you, and love you if you find yourself battling addiction. So yeah, I stayed here at the Genesis Outreach last night, had a great night. Oh my goodness, just wonderful. Conversations late into the night. Got the videos done, got the social media posts done. You can find all the social media for Redeeming Eden in the pop-up link at the end of the video. And so yeah, now I'm gonna try to make it to Lansing. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning, and so I think I've got enough time. It'd be a 70-mile ride. There's a Cottonwood Creek campground or something like that. I do have the downwind. It only looks like it's gonna sprinkle today, so there shouldn't be any like heavy constant rain. But it's not going to get much above like 43 degrees, which is fine for cycling, but still chilly for standing around. So I'm going to get on the road, grab some breakfast, and then you'll see the ride right about now. Okay, so I know this isn't the ride quite yet. Rolled down here to this Stogie's Family Room Cafe. Met Casey. She was like doing everything, hosting, serving, all the things. And she mentioned, she was like, you know, what you're doing sounds a lot like Forrest Gump. And I was like, oh, let me tell you. From Mobile, Alabama, my ex-girlfriend's name is Jenny. I'm ending the last ride in Monument Valley. It hasn't gone unnoticed. And so she was like, that's cool. So she wanted to get a picture. We did. Her cousin Tyler took the pic. And so, yeah, while I was sitting there, she mentioned to one of the other couples that was sitting down, Larry and Linda Bailey, that, you know, what I was doing. And after a brief conversation with them, they handed me a $50 bill. So God is providing yet again. So cool. Anyway, it's super cold. And I don't know if you can see the pavement, but it is also starting to rain. It looks like snow tomorrow too. But I'm gonna have to ride in it. Like, I've got to make miles, so here goes nothing. Also, one more mention. Brittany Howard, you sent the PayPal, you bought my breakfast. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Okay, so if you're from this area, I really need to know, are these two different words? Because it says named in memory of this chief, Tekonquasha, but I don't see that here. if this is how this is supposed to be pronounced, I apologize in advance, but I am never going to get a name right in Michigan. Please let me know in the comments. Hey, so many of you have asked me, you know, how do you plan your route? Like, where are you going? And I honestly never have any idea. And by that, I mean that back here, when I was in Coldwater, you know, this was a name that I saw where I was like, oh, definitely need to go there. And so now, like, I've got all these different towns to look at, and I saw this one, Olivet, right? And so that's biblical, Mount of Olives, Olivet. So that's where I'm headed. I don't want to go, however, over to Assyria. You know, so it's really just that simple. And I hope that helps some of you understand how, when I say that, you know, the Lord, I plan my way and the Lord directs my steps. Like, I know I'm going to the UP, but this right here is exactly how I'm getting there. So I hope that clears up some questions. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and head on up toward all of that. I love you guys. See you later. Well, I'm so glad the Lord had other plans for me last night. Looks like there's RVs, but I don't see anybody there. So. Alright, so I hope that noise isn't too loud. It's a fan. So I just rolled through Marshall, Michigan. This is probably one of the sweetest towns. Like, this is small town America. Like, old days, but redone with all new shops and stuff. It's really nice. Like, one of my favorite small town America towns. I saw some on the Erie Canal towpath, but they weren't this, like, I don't really even know a word. Swank, I guess? I don't know if that even works there. Anyway, so I rolled in here to Johnny's and got some Bosco sticks. I don't even know what it is. I think that's the best part about a bike tour, is you just end up eating anywhere. And I love trying, you know, new foods anyways. So yeah, it's supposed to be cheese, but it's just like a breadstick. Anyway, I'm 25 miles in. I've been downwind all day. It's like 12:30, so I feel really, really confident that it will be no problem, Lord willing, to make it to Lansing, 70 miles, knock it out, get it done. So you'll see more of that right about now. All right, so I just wanted to stop here. This lake is gorgeous. It definitely reminds me of like the upstate New York lakes, like Adirondacks, Lake Placid area. Anyway, I'm glad that I've got a bike lane that has just started. So I hope that this continues for a while, but it has been really weird. Like, I've rode all over the United States, and I don't know if it's like just a Michigan thing, but I'm watching the cars in my like mirror, and I'm watching the guys driving the cars, telling the car coming the other direction, get off the road, I'm coming through. And so they're driving around me. They're giving me plenty of room, but they're driving in the other lane and forcing the other cars off where the mailboxes are. Like, that's wild to me. I don't know if maybe you can drop a comment and let me know if that's just the way things work up here in Michigan. But it has happened several times where I just tense up, like, if they hit each other, I'm hitting them, you know, like, this is not good. So anyway, just thought I'd throw that in there, and man, I'm praying that this bike lane goes all the way to the UP, because that's super sketchy. Of course they're the Eagles, and of course the bike path started and brought me right into Olivet. I actually didn't even know where I was. I hadn't looked at the map in a long time. I got so far to go, I'm just not worried about it. But the Eagles, you know, I'll try to remember to put a link right here for you, and you can click that link and go back and watch one of the Coast to Coast tour videos. I was coming out of Pueblo, Colorado into East Pueblo, and I was done. I had just finished the Rockies, and like, I was probably more exhausted than I've probably ever been. And some crazy things happened, and I just like worshiped and laughed and cried right on the side of the road. So you got to go watch that video to find out what I'm talking about. But anyway, Olivet, that's one more marker down. A few more miles to go. Again, tailwind all day. This is nice. So I'm gonna keep riding the breeze. Let's go. Well, this is cool. So I just came to Culvers. I've never been to a Culvers before. They've got butter burgers and frozen custards. And it's cold outside, so I was like, I don't know. But I got some cheese curds, which are pretty good. I've actually never had them. I've seen them all up across the north. Just never pulled the trigger on that. And then I got a butter burger. So I'm sitting here, and the guy from the counter walks up and says, "Would you like to try one of our custards?" He said it's one of the flavors of the day. So I was like, yes, I would. Oh, that's so cool. So anyway, it started sleeting when I was headed into here. I'm gonna kind of recalculate, I think. I don't really know. From looking at the map, it looks like I can go directly north from right where I am and catch 127 again without having to go into the city of Lansing. Lansing looks like it's surrounded by interstates, and then there's just like heavy urbanization there in the middle. and that's always going to make me go so much slower because got to hop up on sidewalks and all those kind of things. So I may just skip Lansing and head straight north. Again, I've got to do some more research, but I'll let you guys know how it goes in just a little bit. I love you guys, and I'm going to enjoy this custard, and see you later. Okay, so 3 things I figured out while I was here. That's sinfully good. Like, the flavors, it should almost be illegal. Like, that's an addictive type of food. All fried. Reminds me of some of those little dairy bars in Kentucky. Number 2, I've looked at the route, and I can totally, it looks like the wind will be with me. It will be snowing and raining on me tomorrow. But the wind will be with me to go north on 100 to Clark Road, and since that's my son's name, I was like, hey, I'll go that way. And then I can go east to DeWitt, where there will be another room there. Campgrounds that I checked on my path, again, a couple of them are May 1st. One said April, but I think it's RV only because there was nothing about tent stuff there. 3, back in Massillon, when Ernie's Bike Shop worked on my bike, right after that, when I dropped it coming into Independence, I got an email from a lady named Kathy Jackson. And she said, hey, if your bike needs work, I want to pay to have it repaired. And I had fixed it in the hotel on my own in Independence. I even replaced a spoke. And so I told her, oh, don't worry about it, you know, it's all good. She said, well, if anything else comes up, let me know. And so while I was thinking about it, I was like, you know what, I've got that email, I may as well ask her. So I contacted her, and this was way earlier today, and asked her to get a hotel in Lansing if that's what she wanted to do. And so she actually emailed me back right while I was sitting here, right after it started sleeting, and said, sorry, I've been in a meeting all day. Where, and absolutely, I'd love to help. And so I was like, perfect timing. I'm staying here in Charlotte. And so she's like, okay. So she got it booked. I'm headed that way now. And yeah, thank you so much, Kathy. I mean, the timing could not have been more impeccable. So I'm going to head down the road, and you'll see more of that right about now. Well, made it to the hotel. Thank you so much again, Kathy. It is cold outside. Like, it's 41 degrees, and then it's going to drop tonight. It should start raining tonight. It's going to rain all day tomorrow. That's what the forecast says. And it'll actually be snowing in the morning when I leave out, which I'm super stoked about. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get the video posted, edited, cut, all those things, scratch that, reverse it, and then respond to social media, respond to all those things, and then get ready for a big day of rain and snow riding tomorrow. As long as the winds don't turn from the north, I think I'm going to be okay. Even if it's just a light wind from the north, I'll be fine at the lower temperatures. Because today was great being downwind. I did actually get some wind burn on my face that you can't see with this lighting, but it's red like all the way to right here and here. So yeah, with that all being said, if you know anybody who's passed away from addiction in any form or fashion, please drop their name in the comments or find me through the PAPA link in the description, and I would love to ride for your person and celebrate their life with you for a day. If you know anybody who's actively addicted, anybody in general, share this with them. Like the videos, comment on the videos, share the videos, hit the subscribe button, subscribe to the channel on YouTube. And yeah, essentially watching the videos is a donation to Redeeming Eden. So what better way to donate than to just sit back and watch some YouTube? Don't forget, Redeeming Eden is a non-profit ministry through International Gospel Outreach. I'll leave a link to them in the description in the PAPA link. You can go there and find out more about Redeeming Eden and the Cody Jordan Forever Funeral Fund, which is a fund I set up to help families pay for funeral costs for loved ones that they've lost to addiction. And so yeah, made it to Charlotte, and I think it was just shy of 50 miles. I
I like that I'm not going into Lansing. Like, I don't ever actually zoom in on the place that I'm going to really find out anything about it. It's always like just kind of cursory, this is the direction I want to go, and then when I get close, I actually sit down and figure out where am I going. And so when I zoomed in on Lansing and saw like the interstate loop around it and then just all gray, I was like, I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. I'd rather go with hills on, you know, Highway 100 and then Clark Road tomorrow and go all the way around the city. I don't want to do big city. Big cities are really hard to bike tour. But yeah, from here in Charlotte, Michigan, State 34. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. I'll see you later. Have a good night.